takeandtalkpics.com. I'm Rob Kruger, and this is episode 70 with another Monday message. Hey Photo World, so today I wanted to talk to you about something with kind of how to present yourself and be with your clients. So I've come up with a small list here, 3 key things to be open about with your clients. Now I feel that this kind of goes across the board with whatever industry you're in, but I'm really kind of relating it to my main industry, which is weddings. So if you're a wedding photographer, this is definitely helpful. If you do other industries of photography, other genres, anything else out there, really, you're interacting with some sort of client at some point, because this is the way we make a business out of photography. We have to be working with others and selling our images or working for people to create images. However you do it, it doesn't matter. I think there's a possibility that these 3 things can go into helping you in your business and how to grow while keeping open and honest with your clients. Depending on how you run your studio, the question can come up, who will be the photographer? It may appear that you're the only photographer and not have any other available shooters for your business. This can also raise some concerns, though, about, if you're sick on the shoot date, who's going to cover for you? What's going to happen? The answer to that has come up in, more than a dozen episodes on Take Talk Pics. You got to get those systems in place. If you are unable to make it and you have to have somebody come in and, help you out in that bind, you got to be prepared to either pass on the majority of the income from that particular job, or, you owe them big time. I mean, it's not an easy thing to have that short of notice and pull it off in a good way. If your studio includes more than one photographer, be upfront about it. You don't want to be shady about making people think you're the photographer and then somebody else is there to show up. I did jobs for this guy for a while, and many times it would come up where they thought they were going to have him and I'm there to do the job for them, and it was very confusing. So I kind of had to calm people down before it even got started. That's not a good way to start a day, start a job in this industry, in any industry really. Regardless of what you call your studio, at the end of the day, if you're the owner of that business, it's your name on every job that passes through the door. So honestly, be upfront and deliver correct information right out the gate. I do my best to say as much about what they may be thinking as clients and the questions that they might have for me, so that way I can ask them, do you have any questions? And often they'll come back and say, I'm pretty sure you answered everything. So that approach shows you that there's a transparency in your business and what you do and how you run things. You're willing to be completely honest with that client. It also shows your level of knowledge in the industry, that you know the answers to the questions they might be already thinking before it's even brought up. Getting to that point where it's comfortable and easy to state so much information in such a small time, it's not a simple task. It takes a lot of research and even more practice. So you got to get out there and refine how you speak to clients and the things you are telling them or not telling them. Point number 2 here on being open with clients, what are they going to pay? I mean the total. People want to know a number. When you go to the grocery store, you don't just grab stuff off the shelf because that's what you get. And if that's the case, it does happen. We're all there. But more than often, we'll look at a price and be, putting it in our mind. That's what it costs. And we know that investment. It's the same when somebody wants to hire you for a job. They want to know what it's going to cost and not this little hidden fee tactic. Your clients may not know all the details when they're looking for a photographer, or the business that you're owning and running here, the service you're providing. They might not know all the details of it. It's your duty to lay out the expectations for your client and honestly inform them on the pricing. Those hidden fees, Photo World, it makes me sick. When they sit down with a couple to discuss their wedding, after we get through everything, they'll tell me about a photographer that they recently met with, and question after question seem to unveil more and more fees that they didn't have an understanding about until they asked. That approach may earn you a little bit more money per job, but in the end, the opportunity will kind of be scared away because, most people that you meet with aren't going to like the feeling of that hidden fee. And if it didn't only come up till they said something about it, then there's a problem. What aren't they saying? What are the questions they're not asking that another fee will pop up later? Think about when a bill shows up for you, something you weren't expecting. It seems like it changes everything, and in a bad way for a little bit. Don't become a reason for your clients to get stressed out and feel like this is something bad before even getting started. Here we go on point number 3 of just the being open with your client and getting them more information, making them feel comfortable. What is included with the fee? I mean, now that your client knows who the photographer is, how much they're going to invest, what do they get? I mean, up until about 2003, 2004, we were in the film world. There was a huge respect for film photography and the talent and skill it took to capture images with correct lighting, correct exposure, make sure they get processed correctly and delivered beautifully. I mean, there was just so much more background and unknown work from the majority of clients out there that it was a little bit higher respect, and you could charge for that. Now everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has a digital camera. They have some sort of possibility of creating an image, especially quickly. And so it seems like, how hard is it to take a picture? We could just take it, hit a button, right? So there you go. You're a professional photographer. And how do you sell that? How do you pitch that this is worth money? Because realistically, anybody can take a picture. Now, the level of skill behind it, the knowledge that goes with it, that changes dramatically from cell phone photography to a professional photographer. Not to say that people don't appreciate what we're capable of in this digital age, but to be realistic, the format of photography has changed so much that we can't always easily cash in on our time, the prints, usage rights, storage of the images, whatever it takes to make this happen. Perhaps the expectation today, now that we are in this totally digital world, or at least a really high majority of a digital world, it's to be a shoot and burn photographer. People are kind of expecting that, and it works for some. I don't really agree with it, but it works for some where, you capture the images, you deliver everything that was taken in a high-res format, and they have endless usage rights to those images. It's kind of a common expectation for especially the unknowing client. There are many photographers who combat this in an extremely effective way, and that really comes with education and experience. Not only is it our job to be photographers, to understand light, use the correct gear, take classes and attend seminars, have the appropriate post-production software, be able to deliver a pleasing product, we're now left with the task of educating our clients on the process. You must remember just about every client you have has been photographed digitally at some point. In those situations, it's typically instantaneous for them, a quick selfie and an instant gratification that, there we are in this still moment. To be honest, in a client's mind, a professional photographer should be as fast about delivering their images and in an effective way. With all this, education is key. It's the saving grace for working with new clients. Photo World, go out there, inform your clients, make great work, learn more for yourselves along the way, and keep that practice up. And of course, as always, happy shooting.